All right. Well, as everyone is filing in, I'll get started because I know we're a minute after, but we are so excited to have a panel today with some of our passionate sellers of Paper Pumpkin who have some great tips and experiences to share with you today. And to introduce myself, I'm Elizabeth Belville. I'm a field success manager here in the United States. Behind the scenes and who will pop on occasion is a fellow field success manager, Claire Langsford in Australia. So excited that she is here. She knows the ins and outs of using Zoom for our panel and webinars. So excited to have her here joining us as well. Let me just walk through some different features that we have that we would love for you to take advantage of. First of all, there's the chat. We would love for you to chime in and share any comments in the chat. If you have questions as we go along, I highly encourage you to use the Q&A feature here on the webinars. And when you see a question that you also want to ask, you can upvote the questions, and that will let us know that multiple people want to have that question answered. And Claire will be watching those and might pop on and let us know when they're common questions. And then we will have some awesome discussions with our demonstrators that have really taken advantage of the offering of Paper Pumpkin and have some amazing tips. We have here with us tonight Rosie Gonzalez, Chelsey Christensen, and Rachel Tessman. So thank you, ladies, for being willing to share your expertise and passion with us tonight. We'll have a section of Q&A at the end after each of them share their tips, and then we'll finish with a poll. So thank you again. Um, let me make sure that I have hit all of the stuff. One thing that I will let you know is that we may not be able to answer all of your questions, but we will try to get as many as possible. If you have particular questions that you want answered, if there's a specific demonstrator that you want to answer it, then go ahead and put that as we go along, their name in the question, so we can make sure to ask that person specifically. And then we'll also go over some of the technology. So let me just make sure that I'm hitting everything. Okay, let's see. Oh, are you hearing an echo? That's not great. Am I echoing? Are you hearing an echo from me? Okay, that might be um your technology. So sorry. Okay. All right. Excellent, excellent. I think I got most of it. All right. Are you excited to see how Paper Pumpkin works, or also what it is? So Paper Pumpkin, if you ladies, you might need to come off mute and correct me if I'm wrong, but here in North America, we actually launched Paper Pumpkin before we launched our kits collection. So this has been around a lot longer and was actually sort of the uh, baby, the firstborn, our pancake of the kit collection. And it has been, I have been a subscriber since the beginning. I think most of the panelists have been as well. And so it's a lot of fun. It actually started, the concept, the reason why it's called Paper Pumpkin is a Cinderella story. That it is your escape each month. It is your pumpkin carriage that is coming to take you away for a creative escape. And that is what it still is for so many of us and for our subscribers. And while the Cinderella imagery isn't as clear, you can use that history and story to help people understand what it is. And it's a little bit of a surprise, just like it was for Cinderella, that you don't see everything in the kit before you get it. You get little sneak peeks and um, um, little touches in the marketing, but once you get it, it's a surprise. And like our kits, the magic is in the making of it. I can't tell you how many times, whether it's a kit or our paper pumpkin line, that when I see the imagery, I think it's okay, but I don't know if it's my style. But as soon as I get it and I put it together as is, let alone any potential alternates, once I'm done, I go, I really love this kit. And so I encourage people that even if you see a little sneak peek and you think that's not for you, don't skip it because you will love it. And if you don't, whoever you send those cards or projects to is going to love it. And so it is a wonderful way to make a difference and invite people to creativity. So that is my little spiel about Paper Pumpkin. But let's walk through, because today we're going to talk about tips and tricks for inviting people to subscribe, ways to market it, engage with people. We're really talking about the way to share it versus the technical or the service type questions. And so a lot of this stuff will be on is currently or will be on a marketing page, a platform for you. And so let me just walk through where you can find resources on Paper Pumpkin. Because when you're asking about how do people subscribe, or how do they manage their subscription, or how do I share it through my DBWS, those are questions that you can find on the website or work with demonstrator support. We really want to focus tonight on how that all works together. So let's see, Claire, are you sharing that or do you want me to share it? Let's see.
Sorry, I can share it if you would like.
Okay, yeah. Am I going out of order on you?
Okay.
All right, so this is the demonstrator website. Hopefully you all can see it pretty well. Claire is amazing at running the background. Let's give a hand to Claire. So when you log in, if you go to menu, and then if you just scroll, yeah, yeah, go where you want to go, Claire. Paper Pumpkin subscription is where I was going to recommend. And then go to visit. This is what you will see and what your customers will see in terms of subscribing, which is there's a lot of resources here as well that you can share and what it will look like for them. And it's a great experience for them to subscribe. So there's that. And then let's walk through where they can find marketing resources. Ooh, I'm in the sun here. Okay. So go to Craft and Create and Paper Pumpkin. And I love this. So we have a great marketing page here that has so many resources for you and marketing toolkits, what to expect in the kits. You can see here great resources. And on this page, with the how to subscribe, you can see that there are the two options that you have. You can do the pay as you go, or you can do a 3, 6, or 12-month subscription. And remember, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the Q&A. Oh, we do have a question again to get to that page, Claire. So, sorry, menu, Stamp and University, Craft and Create is how you get there. So Stamp and University, Craft and Create, Paper Pumpkin. Okay.
This is not currently live if you are outside of North America, but it will be available once it goes live in Europe and South Pacific. The training, though, is on there, but some of the additional links and things that are in there are not yet available. There is also one other page as part of the ad at the bottom, the featured ad. If you click on the Learn More, sorry, Elizabeth, I'm totally jumping in on here.
You're totally great.
So Demonstrator homepage, scroll all the way down to the bottom, Lakeside Retreat at the moment, click on Learn More, and this takes you to a landing page which has the current kits subscription spotlight. So you can have some of the graphics, there's the marketing toolkit information about the add-ons, as well as some information for new subscribers and other subscriptions.
Yeah. And when you're on this page, it will show for the full quarter. So we look at Paper Pumpkin in a quarter, and the add-on dies are for the full quarter. And then often you'll have a kit that coordinates with a suite, a kit that has an add-on, whether that is an additional stamp set or what have you. And so we'd like to mix it up and have some excitement with the kids. So um, yes. Okay. All right. So with that in mind, Claire, did I hit all of the stuff you wanted to hit?
I think
Or
so.
not?
I'm sure
Okay.
there'll be questions if we've missed anything.
Yeah. Yep. That's true. So make sure that you're putting it on the Q&A section, not the chat, because that is where we will be watching for the questions. And be sure to look through the questions to see if someone asked the same question as you did or you wanted to ask, and then you can upvote it. All right. So with that all said, let's jump into our first demonstrator, Rosie Gonzalez. Rosie, I'm so excited that you accepted this opportunity to talk today. What I love about Rosie, she has a lot of passion. She has been sharing Paper Pumpkin for a very long time. She does it in both in person and online. And just, you're going to fall in love with Rosie for sure. So, Rosie, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your experience with Paper Pumpkin and get us started?
Oh, that's going to be easy. You're going to have to stop me from talking. Hi, everybody. I'm Rosie Gonzalez. I live in Northern California. A little bit about me is I have been a demonstrator for 12 years and I absolutely love it. And was a demonstrator before that. That's a different story for another day. And have loved Paper Pumpkin from day one. I love the simplicity of it. I love how you can get everything in a box. And that is exactly how I tell my customers, whether they are brand new, never stamped before. As soon as they put a stamp to paper, they can't believe that they did it. You would have thought that, like, we painted something, or they're very seasoned and vintage, like I like to call myself. It's still really exciting to get everything in a box. So I absolutely love sharing it. And although I love the kits, I love getting a surprise every month and anticipating what that box is going to look like. So, hi, thank you for having me.
Okay. Oh, so glad you're here. So, Rosie, to kick us off, tell us about your experience with Paper Pumpkin. It's been around for longer than a decade here in North
Mhm.
America. What are your tips and tricks for those that are joining us from markets that haven't had Paper Pumpkin, or even those that are joining us that have been in North America and haven't used Paper Pumpkin in their business? What would be your key takeaways for those here today?
Um, I think that my key takeaway is to talk about it, is to show them what it is. Get yourself registered, get a box, get two, get three, get 10, get as, and show it. Don't just hold on to it. I know that we are just collectors at heart. But when you put your box together and then you show it, you are able to really share what that is. And like I said, Paper Pumpkin is for all. I mean, we have people on this panel that make these incredible projects and just take it just really, far out there on things that I cannot even explain how they do that. But for me, I like to tell people about Paper Pumpkin, tell them that it's a monthly box that comes to them. Sometimes you get a special box. These are really exciting. So I think that probably Elizabeth will talk a little bit more about, special boxes, but mostly they look like this. And I do like to share with my customers and even even the beginners. I do like mommy and me classes. We get together at a pizza parlor, and I show them one card that is done exactly the way the Paper Pumpkin is meant to be. And then I show them a step up. Now, my step ups are not something that is incredible. I add maybe Wink Estella, and that's what I've added to the class. Or I add, in this case, I added ribbon and nothing but ribbon. That's all I added for this class in particular, or in this box in particular. And I will show it to my customers. But mostly my key is talk about it. Your business will grow just with your excitement and you showing your box. Everything that we show, if they're watching you or they're following you, your team, your family, your friends, followers that you may have, they're watching you because they want to see what you're doing. And when you show them how exciting Paper Pumpkin is, and I think it's just a bang for their buck, they will fall in love with it too.
Yeah. Is there something that you know now that you wish you knew when you started or when Paper Pumpkin first launched?
Well, I especially like that that you can get more now that when we first started. I think when we first started, it was a little bit difficult to know. I love that we get a sneak peek. So we really get to know a little bit about what is coming. Where in the beginning, everybody that has Paper Pumpkin now knows that they are fabulous. You guys, they were not so fabulous in the beginning. And I don't know if I'm even allowed to say that, but sorry, Elizabeth and Claire, they weren't so great. I mean, they were very, very simple. Now you get these incredible projects. And so, but I wish that I would have talked about it more and been able to show it more. And now I feel that now I'm able to show it on pictures and social media and actually go on my team page or group and actually make it with people. And I think that that really is helpful.
Awesome. What types of events do you incorporate Paper Pumpkin into?
Well, and it has kind of evolved. So at first, when I first started with Paper Pumpkin, I had a Paper Pumpkin club, and although I still have it now, it's no longer so prominent in person. Now it's more online. So before we used to get together. Everybody would either bring their box or it would be delivered to my place, and I would lug the box with me or the boxes with me, and then I would set it up. And now I have it to where it is online. I will show it. And then I always try and have extra boxes so that if somebody didn't sign up, I encourage them to get a box from me. And then I can also encourage them to sign up. But mostly I still do at a pizza parlor, we'll get together and we'll do Paper Pumpkin and kits. And so that's very helpful because it actually has other people bringing in their boxes, especially if you're on my Paper Pumpkin club. I send them little gifts, little tidbits, emails, encouraging them to get the add-ons now. So now there's dies. And so I encourage them to get those. It's a lot of fun.
So you do a lot of amazing things with the alternates and hosting it at a venue and all of that. So let's say you have a new team member that has never done this and maybe is a little overwhelmed and afraid they can't do it like Rosie does it. What are the key things you would say? And maybe you've already shared it, but what are the key tips you would give to someone just starting out so they don't feel overwhelmed?
Well, that one's kind of easy because everything is contained in the box, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when a person is on my team and they are starting out, and I actually have somebody who's really picked up Paper Pumpkin and made it part of her business. So especially when they say, I really want to do this as a business, how would I go about it? This part is the easiest because it is being able to order, or set up a class, a date, how many people are coming, RSVP, then whether they have they've registered, or if they're new, you can add to it and just tell them, I have a hard stop on the 10th. And, it is the best way to get somebody started in their business because you're not asking them to have 15 ink pads, or, they bring their toolkit, they're going to get the ink spot, they're going to get everything they need. And when they come to your class, or whether it's in person, or if they get theirs in the mail and you're going to do it on Zoom, which I highly encourage if you have friends or family that are customers that are farther away, they have everything they need in that box. So I think that that's why simplicity for me is the key. I do, if people want to have, the add-ons, typically I pick one thing. So if it's Winkastella, or if it is, some ribbon, I may put a little kit together for them and I send it to them, and I try and send it in a very, very simple envelope. So you're not actually sending, a $10 kit add on, and you can send it to them. So keep it simple, but it's a great way to jumpstart your business.
Wonderful. Thank you. And I have one final question before we move on to Chelsey. And I'm going to ask this of all the panelists, because this is a big one that I think is always a struggle. Like, lots of people want to know before they buy. And there is that element of surprise, that worry that they may not like this particular kit. How do you handle that when you have people that are like, I don't know that I want to, I don't know if that's for me. Do you have a way that you handle those objections?
That's a great question. I think I really sell it to them like, now we get a little bit of a preview as to what it looks like. We get the theme, right? So we know that there's going to be hummingbirds, and we get a little bit of a tidbit of the colors. I do sell them on, it's a surprise. It is that surprise box. You're going to open it up. It's going to have tissue paper. You open up the tissue paper and it just is just happiness in a box. And what may not be for you really will, be for somebody else, somebody that you want to gift it to. You may have somebody in your life that loves hummingbirds or bunnies, or, whatever it is that is that month. But I think that once they make the box, I think that they will really enjoy it. So I just talk to them about how much fun it is to get, this creativity in a box, and you can just make whatever you want with it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Rosie,
Of
for sharing
course.
your tips and tricks. And Rosie will still be here to help answer questions. But I love the way that Rosie incorporates it both online and in person. So regardless of how you run your business, if you're primarily online right now or in person, there is a way for you to share Paper Pumpkin, and you can do both in your business and demonstratorship. So thank you. All right, Chelsey, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yes. Oh, Elizabeth is muted now. Did I mute you by accident? That might have been me. I don't know how to do this.
No, I wonder if I muted myself to cough and then never brought myself back on. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I pushed a button and then you went mute, so it's
Oh,
probably.
okay. Well, I should stop talking and let you talk. So go for it. Introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi, I'm Chelsey Christensen, and I should have looked to see how long I've been a demonstrator, but I haven't walked for my 20 years yet. So I think I'm probably around the 18-year mark, 17, 18. And I live in Denver, Colorado. And I
Awesome.
have a really messy craft room today. Sorry, guys.
That is so real. I have a very messy craft room too. And
Yeah.
so I love that. And maybe we signed up. I want to look now too, because I have been a demonstrator for 18 years. Maybe we'll get to walk for 20 together. That would be amazing.
Yes, if that's true, then I think it will be in Salt Lake and I'll be there and we'll find each other.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Okay.
So Chelsey, what tips or tricks, what knowledge do you have to share with everyone about Paper Pumpkin and how you use it in your business?
Oh, that is a very broad question. So I'll just start talking and hopefully it will inspire somebody. So, at first, I have to say, I did not jump on the Paper Pumpkin bandwagon when it first came out. I was like, okay, what's the big deal? My friend, who's actually not a demonstrator anymore, was very excited. And so I didn't get, I think, like the first year of Paper Pumpkin or something. Anyway, we got back together for on stage, and she is just so excited about Paper Pumpkin. And I was like, what is the big deal? And she's like, Chelsey, it's automatic sales. You have to jump on. And so she showed me some of the cute things she was doing, and I was sold. So my friend had to sell me on it. And anyway, she had great ideas. And after I started getting my own kits, I didn't do anything with them. And they were starting to pile up. So that was problem number one. And then I decided to start a YouTube channel, and I realized I had all these kits. And so I started showing my kits on my YouTube channel and making the cards. And I originally just started doing them as intended. But then some people were like, I don't really like that kit. And I'm like, people, they love to comment whatever they're thinking. And so I found out that that was problem number two. And so one of my tips is that if you are recognizing that your customers are experiencing a problem with the product, you need to find the solution because you're the demonstrator. And so what I did is I started thinking about these problems and realized that I needed to be the solution to those. So that's my first tip, really without selling anything, is if there's a problem, find a solution. So what I did is for the second solution, I started making alternatives. And I took some of the things people were saying in the YouTube videos and said, well, I could fix that. And so I changed things. And so when we would get, smaller cards, I would make them the regular size because that's easy to do. Or if we got boxes, I'd cut up the boxes and turn them into cards. And so people started to see that, hey, you can do more with this kit than just the original project. And then problem number one, so going backwards, I decided that we needed to kind of get together, and I'm online. And so I needed to have a time when I would get together with people and open our kits. And so I also started to do unboxing videos. And I don't know if people are actually unboxing with me, but it's fun to actually open it. And I don't open it beforehand because I don't have time for that in my life. We just get on, and I usually will just send an email like 30 minutes to an hour before saying, hey, I'm getting on. If you've got time, join me. And I did one today. I had like an hour. And so I was like, let's open the March kit. Yeah, the March kit. So we did it, and I was surprised. I had real life, surprise on hopefully my face or my voice. I don't actually show my face. But anyway, now I'm mumbling or rambling. But yes, so show excitement, solve problems. Those are my tips. So
I love that. And I I love that you brought up um, that it's your friend convinced you because it's automatic sales, right? Like, how has that helped you in your business in knowing that you have those automatic sales?
it's amazing. Every 11th of the month, I go from zero to like a lot more. So it is a really amazing
Yeah,
opportunity. So when I moved, so I started as a demonstrator in Utah, and then I moved to Denver, Colorado, and we didn't have any connections. And I remember talking to my husband and saying, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to stay active because I don't have a natural customer base here. And I ramped up my YouTube channel and I pushed Paper Pumpkin, and it really made a huge difference in my business.
wonderful. Thank you. And that is a tip that we often will tell people is that if you I haven't looked globally, but I think the CSV conversion is the same in all markets, but double check the numbers if you're outside of North America. But I think it's been planned that if you get five, four if you include yourself, it meets your quarterly minimum each month. So here in the United States, ours the CSV after the purchase is $20 per kit, and 100 CSV each month would be 300 for the quarter. So if I get five subscribers, my quarterly minimums are met. It's a great tip to give your teams or for yourself if you are struggling to reach your quarterly minimums. So I love that point of the automatic sales. How do you build engagement with your customers? Because you mentioned people like uh, piling it up, or also how do you create urgency in getting new subscriptions? So that's a two-part question. And new subscriptions, since we have a subscription period and there's a time to sign up, how do you build the urgency? And then how do you get your customers to stick around and stay engaged?
Um, Urgency, I'm actually not very good at, and I could be better. I mean, I think we're all human and we have, things that we're really good at and things that we're not. And so I'm here as well to improve, and get tips from all these fabulous demonstrators. So if I come up with something as I'm talking about the other one, I'll say something. But
Okay.
email is great. Let's just say that. If you have a customer base that you can email as just as a reminder, I think that's probably your number one way of marketing to people. And then, of course, running things on social media.
Wonderful.
But I could be better about both of those. But going back to the other one, which was
Engagement, like
engaging.
keeping them, yeah.
Yeah. So I actually got this from my friend who's no longer a demonstrator, but she would create little kits that she would send out to her paper pumpkin customers, showing them that the paper pumpkin kit has more value than just the product because you get a stamp set and a stamping spot. And so as I started noticing that I was getting more paper pumpkin customers, I wanted to keep them. And so I feel like there's so many demonstrators all around the world, which is fabulous, but we need to create interactions with our customers that make them want to keep coming back to us. And so this was one way that I decided to do that. And I mail out a very simple card kit to every single one of my subscribers. And we get together once a month to make that kit together. And it is just enough to make one more. Okay, so it's one design, but I give them enough to make two of that one design. And it's like two half sheets of paper, a couple little cutouts or, rectangles where they can stamp. We will do a technique and then I'll just cut up some embellishments like, six little rhinestones or a couple strips of ribbon. And then we get together and make it. And I think that them being able to interact with me on Zoom, we make a card together that's not part of the kit. It's exclusive. So I don't show this card anywhere else. Only they get it. It's really fun. And I think it holds people and keeps them coming back.
Oh, that's perfect, Chelsey. Thank you so much. Any last words of wisdom that you want to share before we pop it over?
Just make it so paper pumpkin, everybody gets the same thing. So if there's any way that you can make it yours, that's would be my
That's perfect.
suggestion.
I love that. And like you've given us some great nuggets. So it's automatic sales, find the solution. I love that because especially the examples that you gave us in terms of, card size or boxes and not liking it, it just shows the creativity that's in it, which is also a response to people that feel like kits aren't for me because I like to design from scratch. Like, no, this actually gives you a new creative challenge, and there's so much more beyond what comes in the kit. And then it also shows the value that you add as the demonstrator, why they should shop from you because of your additional training and tips, and you put the relationship into it. That is really what makes the magic in being a demonstrator, and definitely with Paper Pumpkin, is the relationships you get to create with your customers and to keep
Yeah,
that touch base. So thank you so much, Chelsey. Now,
you're
we may
welcome.
still have Chelsey with questions, but she gets to hop off a little bit early in about 10 minutes to be with her daughter. We love families. So thank you again, Chelsey, for joining us and sharing your amazing tips and tricks. All right. Last but definitely not least, I kind of want to call you the OG queen of Paper Pumpkin, Rachel. You are kind of the known expert, or definitely the biggest cheerleader that I know for Paper Pumpkin. So we are excited to hear from you today, Rachel. Why don't you introduce yourself to everyone here on the panel today? I mean, on
Hi.
the webinar.
All right. Thank you for inviting me, by the way. I'm Rachel Tessman. I have been a demonstrator for 26 years. I live in Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I have a cold that I've had for a whole week. So I'm very congested. And if I have to cough every once in a while during this, I apologize. I have been a consistent, huge fan of Paper Pumpkin since it started. It was released back in March of 2013, and it was introduced to all of us demonstrators in, I believe, January of 2013 when we had what was called a leadership conference. At that time, I had been considering starting a blog. I had gotten things going and I wanted to do things on YouTube. I just wanted to teach online. And I was looking for some kind of kit, some kind of way to make a kit that I could send to people so that we could create together. And all of a sudden they announced this at leadership and my jaw literally dropped. I was in tears of happiness. It was just like my answer to my prayers. I was so excited because I could do whatever I wanted with that kit. I was already thinking of alternates. And so over the years, I've shared my enthusiasm for these kits with my customers, my team members, fellow demonstrators, and of course, the general public through classes, videos, social media posts, alternate projects, obviously, like that is so huge, trainings and more, and it's grown to be a big part of my business. I'm excited to be sharing with you today. So I have a script here. I hope that's okay that I read from it, but that way I can touch on things that I don't want to forget. Paper Pumpkin, it's one of the most easiest, most approachable products to share, especially with brand new crafters. Excuse me. It's affordable, it ships automatically, and the projects are pre-designed and ready to go. Plus, every month brings something fresh and exciting, hence the surprise, right? Giving subscribers that fun surprise and creative experience. When you talk about Paper Pumpkin, you're not just promoting a kit that shows up in the mailbox. You're offering that monthly escape that we talked about, that little Paper Pumpkin, I don't know what it's called, in the Cinderella story, right? A fun surprise experience, a low commitment way for crafting consistently, an all-inclusive project with no extra tools needed except maybe a scissors, a way to connect with friends and family, because it's a great thing to bring to some event that you have, and you can just sit and craft together with other friends. Something simple enough for kids and beginners, and even a thoughtful gift option. Let's say you open the kit and you're like, this isn't for me. It could even be a gift. You could make the cards, yes, because like, let's say you're not into hummingbirds like we were talking about, and you could give those cards to someone who is, but you could also just gift the kit. These kits have everything in them. Your enthusiasm, as we've been talking about, is the biggest marketing tool. And I think that's why I've had success with it, because I've been so in love with it from the beginning. I'm so passionate about it. And if you have enthusiasm in any of our Stampin' Up! Products, you'll notice that those are the products that sell best for you. So if you have enthusiasm in this, it's going to go. People are much more likely to subscribe when they see that you are enjoying it. Visuals are key also. They make Paper Pumpkin feel real and accessible. So you'll want to share the kit contents, how the projects come together, and also alternate ideas. You can even direct customers to Stampin' Up's how-to video. So you don't have to create that how-to video yourself. They have one for us. And you don't even have to come up with the alternates nowadays. Everyone is creating them. So if you like it and you don't have the time, this is still for you, because you can direct people to other people's ideas. I do that all the time. And my customers appreciate that I'm sharing those resources. They still order through me, even though they see that I'm sharing these other people's ideas. They appreciate that. So showing versatility, it makes the kit appealing to a much wider audience as well. Consistency is also important. Each month, be sure to share the sneak peek. You get that ahead of time, a month ahead of time. In fact, right after that kit ships from the previous month, the new kit information is pretty much out there and ready to go. Now, nowadays we're sharing 3 months ahead. So you obviously have, even more to share. But when we come down to that last quarter, they're going to get that information a month in advance, and then you'll have that 3 months ahead again. Share the hints about the kits too, not just the visuals, but type up and copy or whatever. Share that PDF, share the wording that Stampin' Up! Gives us, share their posts from social media. Also share the coordinating products that are suggested so that they have time to purchase them if they want. And then also share the subscription deadline, which is the 10th of each month. How to keep subscribers. You can offer a monthly class or a live stream if you're online. It doesn't have to be big or complicated. Even a quick 10-minute video showing an unboxing if you wanted to do that, just to get engaged with your in-person people or with your online people. You can show a few alternatives, even if you're copying from someone else. And these can help your customers feel connected, supported, and excited to stay subscribed. You might also create a Facebook group for your subscribers. You might also want to share projects, challenges, and inspiration. Encourage them to post what they've made. So these are things that you could do within like a Facebook group type setting or in a class. Also, don't underestimate the power of appreciation. Okay, so if you're gaining subscribers, you need to show appreciation of them too. You could do shout outs if you're online. You could do, or in a Facebook group. You can send them happy mail, like we talked about. I think Chelsey was saying that she sends, was that Rosie that said that? But you can send happy mail too, right? So when I first started gaining subscribers, I had maybe like 10 subscribers. And so I was giving them something each month to go with each kit. I now have a little bit more than that. And so it's every like 3 months where I'll send them my consistent 3-month subscribers, people who have been subscribed with me for 3 months. I send them a little packet in the mail that I could put just a little stamp on. Okay. Let's see here. A simple thank you message too, just thanking them. Paper Pumpkin subscriptions count towards your quarterly minimums like we were talking about. They're recurring. They create steady, predictable sales. Right now, the kits are 27. They're going to go up to what, 29 plus tax in the US with 22 commissionable sales. So yes, it's still that 5, as Elizabeth was saying, 5 subscribers per month. So that can keep you active. And then you don't even have to think of, well, if it's 5 others, right? You don't even have to buy anything, but you just need 5. And then you're not starting from 0 every quarter. Even as you retain subscribers, it's important to keep growing though, because sometimes life happens. People might need to pause from time to time. They might have to stop. They might have what's called red box pileup. And that is a problem. So they'll have to pause and then you'll have to find new subscribers to fill in the space for a while. So keep looking for the new. We always want to look for the new, whether that's team members or customers or subscribers. Continue to share consistently through your newsletters, your social media, emails, videos, lives, classes. Share it all, always, forever, like wherever you are, right? Just always sharing it. You can also try like host try it night parties where they get extra supplies, gifting kits to non-subscribers, and asking them to share their experience. Bringing a kit to somebody that you know, like a customer who maybe ended up in the hospital and you live close to them, you could bring them a kit. I mean, just bring it everywhere, share it everywhere. You could also like offer loyalty rewards, So what I was talking about, like if they're with you consistently, send them a little product, send them a little something. And most importantly, invite, always invite. Over the years, my approach has evolved, but a few things that have remained consistent are making alternates. I love making alternates. In fact, there's very few kits where I've made the kit as is. And it's like an addiction. I'm sorry. I display kits at in-person events, or I used to when I had in-person events, but that was very, very consistent. Always bring your samples so they can touch and feel. All right. I also always promote through videos. From day one, when I started blogging and doing YouTube, it was with Paper Pumpkin. In fact, all my first videos for like a year are just Paper Pumpkin. So always show something in the way that you share, whether it's online or in person. Do it consistently, do it with enthusiasm. All right. Also send thank yous. Make sure that you're thanking your customers in different ways, whether it's just a verbiage, whether it's with extra little goodies, fun prizes. And so I always send thank you emails to my customers. And then I also always provide exclusive content each month. this has been key for me to help retain my subscribers, because I have something that they can't get unless they're subscribed through me. And so I have been collaborating with other demonstrators for years, and we make like tutorial bundles or video class bundles or whatever. It's working smarter, not harder, right? So if you can connect with other demonstrators and team up and do something special for your subscribers, and then also gift that to your team members, because your team members will like stay a subscriber with you and not ever get the demonstrator starter kit because they're thinking, oh no, I have to give that up. So always give your team members free stuff that you're giving your customers for other things. And then rewarding them with mailed gifts, coordinating papers, embellishments, that kind of thing. And because my business is now all online, I've created a hub on my website where subscribers can find resources to kit details, past alternate projects that I've shared on my blog, available past kits for sale because you can sell these kits, Pinterest inspiration boards, a Facebook community that I started years ago and is huge. And I have helpers helping me with that. Thank you, everybody who helps with that. And a dedicated YouTube playlist. So it's one of the easiest and most powerful products that you have as a demonstrator. It helps you share creativity with confidence, build strong customer relationships, and meet your quarterly minimums. So share consistently, show excitement, invite people to try it, and most importantly, provide great customer service. And I just want to address on that last one, and invite people to try it. They can try it. Just have them get the month to month or the pay as you go. And if they try the first kit and they don't like it, they can pause or cancel. That is the perfect way to have them start it out. If they buy the 3, 6, 12 month and they're trying it, then they've got 2 others to use later. And if they didn't like it, well, they still got to use those up because they paid for them. Or, I mean, I guess they could let them go, but just, start with the pay as you go. Kits collection versus paper pumpkin. I saw that question too. And I just want to point that out, that paper pumpkin and kits collection so similar, except that paper pumpkin comes right to you. It's easy and it's a fun surprise. So, and the price is always the same. It's consistent, right? Kits collection, they got to put effort into it. They got to shop, they got to look, but they have that joy of being able to purchase exactly what they want. I do both, and I get joy in both.
I love that, Rachel. Rachel, first of all, thank you so much. And I want you to go to the chat when you at some point, because there is so much love coming in. People that have been following you for so long, love your alternates. Lots of people just lots of love for everybody, but definitely that's been coming in. You are well known in the paper, like in the demonstrator community, but especially in regards to Paper Pumpkin. I love your tips in terms of consistency. Anything in business is about consistency. And with Paper Pumpkin and sharing it, that I love that you hit on that. And the idea of collaboration, especially for people that are starting new, like finding people to help share that work. I mean, first of all, Paper Pumpkin doesn't require a lot of effort. Like you don't have to design necessarily when you're starting out, but take that time that you've freed up and build those relationships to collaborate. And I also love the tip to share it with your team and help build them up through Paper Pumpkin as well. I love that we have consistent message from every one of our panelists today in terms of the value of enthusiasm when it comes to Paper Pumpkin. All 3 of you have been very enthusiastic about this. The passion has been evident. I'm sorry you're not feeling well, Rachel. I've been getting over a cold too. We must have caught the same one on stage. Showing appreciation. My background's in psychology. The best lesson I ever learned is that behavior that is rewarded is repeated, and the best way to reward someone is through that appreciation. So that has been a very consistent message across the board, and the value of bringing your own touch through exclusive content or training through Paper Pumpkin seems to be like there are many things that you all share in common. So many different tips and tricks and very similar things as well. You all brought a lot today. So I want to make sure that we give some time for questions. So Chelsey did have to pop off, but we do have Rosie and Rachel to answer questions. So we've got Claire that's been watching those come in.
forgot that I talked so long that Chelsey had to leave. I was trying to go super fast.
Oh no.
Anytime.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, I've been trying to keep on top of the questions that have been coming through. Thank you everyone for submitting your questions in the Q&A, and to our panelists today for sharing their experiences with us. We will not be able to get to all of the questions, but we will get to as many as we can. And we are taking note of what questions are being asked, and so that we can look for other ways that we may be able to address the questions that you have. Some of the logistical elements we won't be going into. Make sure that you're checking the resources on the demonstrator view of the website. They will cover the things about how do you subscribe, how do you skip, how do you gift. All of that information is available on the website. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's start off with this question. This comes from one of our South Pacific demonstrators. Would it be a good way to promote Paper Pumpkin by doing one card as per instructions on a live so customers can see what it's all about? Would anyone, Rachel or Rosie, which one would you like to tackle that one?
I can do
Rosie.
that one since Rachel is the queen of doing, all of these alternatives. So I will take the simple one, and I will say that I definitely do it that way. I typically we get 3 of each, typically, and so I will make one as is, and then I kind of step it up a little bit more. And then the third one, I've either turned it into a box or turned it into a fancy fold, and that's my third one. But typically, I do like to show my customers, especially if they're beginners, because although I think it's incredible and I am a fan, to make alternatives and to do all of that, I don't want to scare my new team members or my new customers. So I do show them, and then I just say, and to just, jazz it up just a little bit more, here is what I do. And if you really want to, wow, you go here. And then I also tell them about a very special Facebook group that is on there for amazing, amazing projects. If you want to go even a step further.
Beautiful.
And
Thanks so much, Rosie, for sharing that. Yep.
Okay. When I did my videos initially, they were pre-recorded and edited. And I did take the time to do the actual cards as is too. But now I do lives because I don't have to edit them, and they're so much quicker. So I only rush into alternates, but I share the Paper Pumpkin videos that Stampin' Up! Does. And I love that we have that resource. So
I love that. Tap into the resources that we have available for you. So we do release that unboxing video that you can share, and some of those additional marketing materials. That is awesome. Hey, so Rachel, I'm going to address this one then to you, since Rosie took the first question. How do you focus on talking about the difference between prepaid, so the 3, 6 month, 12 subscriptions versus the pay as you go? How do you approach it, given that there's no discount specifically for the prepaid? What do you focus on then to encourage, or what's your approach in providing customers with those two options?
yeah, well, basically the prepaid is, do you want to pay everything now, or do you want to pay as you go, right? Like it depends on what people are most comfortable with. Do you like to have a payment come out of your credit card every month? I don't. I often like to just pay for everything up front, mark my calendar, and then come back to it and pay for everything up front again. Sometimes I know that like Stampin' Up! Was it back in October, there was something special with a prepaid. So there might be things that will draw people towards a prepaid, but then you'll need to educate your customers who are on a pay-as-you-go to stop that pay-as-you-go if they only want one kit per month, and then start that prepaid to get in on a special. So I guess if they're happy with pay-as-you-go, try to convince them that way. Just in that there might be a special with a prepaid coming up. You never know. But if they, and okay, so let me go back a little bit. So if they already have a prepaid, because that's what they're happy with, then you have to educate them on pausing that current prepaid for the next prepaid, right? So you have to kind of learn things as as you're getting into Paper Pumpkin to see how it works. But a prepaid is it's all set. You've got so many months paid for, and it's going to keep going automatically unless you put a pause on it or or put a hold on it. And so, and when you put a hold on it, you have to hold it each month because you can't cancel a prepaid. It's already prepaid. It's in your account. So you kind of have to be a little bit more cognizant
Proactive.
with it if you have a prepaid.
So
I
it
want
sounds
to
like it's
add,
a little bit of like figuring out what is going to be best for that particular customer. If they like to do things up front versus as they go, if they would prefer to do it on a month by month basis, then they have that option. It just provides a lot of flexibility.
Right.
yeah.
And in the past, I mean, some of you are US and Canadian demonstrators. In the past, they did have discounts on the prepaids. And so we have to get used to this new system. And it's just a whole different new system, right? So get into the habit of learning it so that you're able to communicate with your customers. So
I
Beautiful.
will add
Elizabeth.
to that with the prepaid, like if you have customers that are saving their rewards for something in particular, like letting them know a prepaid, you get all of your rewards up front because you do earn rewards on your Paper Pumpkin subscription, whether it is a month by month or a prepaid, there is rewards applied. So there is a benefit there. And with any team members, if they're impending or whatever by purchasing a prepaid or whatnot, then that can help them meet their minimum. So to take those into consideration too.
yes. In fact, during that October special, I got a prepaid for free because I put all my rewards towards it. So awesome. I'm glad you brought that up.
And one final question for our time today. How do you, what's the approach that you have when a customer comes to you and says, I don't like the kit that I received? What's the general approach that you take with that customer?
First of all, I want to know.
Rosie, oh, so we'll go, yeah, Rachel and then Rosie.
Well, I just want to know why. Like, tell me what's wrong with it. What is it that's bothering you? Like, let me hear your concerns, and then I try to talk them into Googling, watching my video, going to the Paper Pumpkin fan club, looking on Pinterest. There's so many options we can do to make this kit more exciting for you. Have you tried it yet? Have you put the card together yet? Trying to get more into why.
Rosie, did you have any other advice or
Yeah.
anything you'd like to add?
I always encourage my customers or my team members to make it. You have it. Now, if they absolutely like, I do not like birds, they creep me out, they are going to just, then I do try and have a little exchange program. Like, okay, is there one that maybe I have in my stash? Not that I have many, don't ask. But in my stash that you would prefer, and because I do want to make them happy, but I do really encourage them to make it because I think that they will find that they do love it, or they can think of somebody that they can gift it to. And gifting handmade cards has such a huge power to it. And so I do encourage them to make the kit, put it in a little baggie, make a beautiful bow, and maybe even with the stamp set. And if you don't want to ever see that stamp set again, put it in the package so that they can make something, maybe later or something like that. So I do encourage them very much to just make the kit. But if they absolutely hate it, then I'll do something to swap it out.
And have we wondered why alternates are so popular? Now we know, because not everybody's going to love that kit. So it's so wonderful that there's so many people out there that are sharing different ways to alter that kit, whether it's with just kit supplies or whether it's with added dies or added stamp sets or whatever. You can go from simple to complex. You can go from scrapbook pages to additional cards, 3D. There's so many options for every kit all the time.
Oh my goodness. I think we could spend hours chatting with you both. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and experience with us all. That is all the time that we have for our Q&A. So huge thanks to Rachel and Rosie for sharing that with us. Don't go away just yet. We've got a couple more things for everybody here. And even though we haven't been able to address all of the questions asked, and I'm very appreciative, we're very appreciative of everybody who's also been commenting on the questions and answering questions of each other. You guys are amazing. Oh my goodness, you guys, I love that. We do appreciate the questions that you guys are asking, and we will look at other ways in which that we can address it. Okay, I'm going to send the time back
All right. We do have a poll for everyone that we would love to have you answer. And oh, we have a
Before the poll,
challenge. We have a challenge.
that's the one.
Yes, sorry. Thank you. Okay. Over the next 2 weeks, because from April 1st to April 10th, that is your small subscription period for those of you that aren't in North America. In North America, if you aren't promoting Paper Pumpkin, you can do it right now. People can start subscribing right now. But we want you to do one thing. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be really small, like share it with one person, or something that's bigger and scarier to you, but that will help you share or use Paper Pumpkin in your business. We recommend keeping it simple. Start small and achievable for yourself, but identify one small thing that you can do because it really can make a difference. You've heard from the people here on what a difference it can make. There's so many resources and people around you to help support you, whether it's your fellow demonstrators or those of us here at corporate. We're just very excited to support you in sharing this wonderful product. So identify one small thing. I want to do a plug for one more resource, the Paper Pumpkin Demonstrator Connection. There are so many alternatives from demonstrators that is shared in there, and you do get a pre-marketing video that I'll share some tips and selling points for you. I'm not as amazing as these ladies that do it all the time, but it will give you some things to those selling points to get people excited. So the group is called Paper Pumpkin Demonstrator Connection on Facebook. So it's just for demonstrators, and we will share other resources in there for you to help you market the next subscription kit. So we also have a poll that I would love for you to answer, just so that we can get an idea of what you learned and how we can better support you and all of that. But while you're filling that out, again, thank you, Rosie, Rachel. I know Chelsey's out, but 100% the tips that you gave today and your stories and your passion were very inspiring. The comments that are coming in, people are very excited to share it, regardless of where they live or whether Paper Pumpkin has been available for them for 13 years. But thank you so much. I know that this was a big part of your time. There was some nervousness, maybe. It's always scary to present, like, I still get nervous every time, but thank you, because truly your passion, your dedication, the difference that you make in sharing it with demonstrators and with customers makes a huge difference. And I love that you're a part of our demonstrator community. So thank you again for being a part of our panel and webinar today. And thank you everyone for filling out the poll. This helps us do better and to continue to offer resources for you. So thanks everyone.